Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. We have a metric ton of things that we can talk about this week. Here's my list of videos we're going to do this week. No more universes beyond the non. That's the video we're going to do today. We've got no Final Fantasy Collectors Part 2. We're going to do that later this week. No more Master Sets. We're going to do that this week. We're going to talk about the Office and all the secret layers. There's a lot of things that came out of MTG Con Atlanta. Tons of information. Today, we're going to talk about the lineup for 2026. I'm going to put it in quotes, ready? The Magic the Gathering lineup for 2026. Listen, I'm going to do my best to give you guys my raw emotions and feelings about this without being negative, because I think there's some really good positives in the 2026 lineup. I think that Magic as a whole in 2026 is going to grow. I just want to share my thoughts about it as well. As somebody who loves Magic, has been involved with Magic for 15 to 20 years. Yeah, we're getting Lorwyn in January. Let's start there, man. Freaking Lorwyn, my favorite plane in all of Magic. Lorwyn Eclipse set looks fantastic. There are Shocklands in Lorwyn Eclipse that they announced that are dual-sided. And one side is Lorwyn artwork, and one side is Shadowmoor artwork. That is going to be the coolest thing ever. I'm stoked for Lorwyn. That's in January, and then in March we have an unannounced Universes Beyond set. No clue what it is. I would love to hear your speculation in the comment section. What do you think it's going to be this year? I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't know if they've teased anything out, but I'd love to hear your speculation on what do you think that unannounced Universes Beyond set. I think they're announcing it at Comic-Con, which is like next week or in 2 weeks in New York. So who knows what that's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think it's going to be anything Marvel related, because in June we're getting a Marvel set, but unannounced Universes Beyond set. So that's 1-to-1. One Lorwyn, or one Magic in Universe, one Universes Beyond set. Then in April we go back to Strixhaven, which is really, it's just Harry Potter, but it's okay. It's Strixhaven. Strixhaven's great. Strixhaven's a fantastic plane. It's cool. It's a pretty historically fun set. People really like Strixhaven. You got the different guilds and the mage houses and that kind of stuff. So there's 2 universes within sets. And then in June, the big tentpole set, the big summer set, is going to be Marvel's Superheroes, which just one interested me. I was surprised to see that they're not going into like Marvel the Avengers or Marvel like the specific things. It's just Marvel Superheroes, which I think will be really good. We'll talk about that in a second. Then we have back-to-back from June to August, back-to-back Universes Beyond sets with The Hobbit. We're back to Lord of the Rings. We called this on the podcast. Well, Donald was wrong, but we called this on the podcast on Friday. With Universes Beyond, The Hobbit in August, and then Reality Fracture in October, which we don't know anything about. And then in November, Star Trek. So if you were counting 4 Universes Beyond sets versus 3 universes within sets, let's start there. I want to focus on that logistics, that fact, that statement. I think that having more Universes Beyond sets in Magic the Gathering than universes within is good for my wallet. I think it's going to be really good for stores. I think it's going to be really good for those of you who sell singles, who run any form of business connected or around Magic the Gathering, even for a good chunk of people who do that kind of stuff with Pokemon and then kind of now dabble into the Magic the Gathering realm. I think that for the business side of Magic the Gathering, Universes Beyond having more UB sets than non-UB sets is going to be a net positive for those people. I think as a store, I'm going to make more money than I would if they did just Magic the Gathering, regular kind of the one Universes Beyond a set a year or that kind of thing. That being said, I think it's good for my wallet. I think it's good for your wallet, potentially. I think it's bad for the game. I think it's bad for the culture of Magic the Gathering as a whole. There's 5 or 6 years ago, I think it was Mark Rosewater, came out and said, we want to see Magic the Gathering become more mainstream. And they've done that. Listen, to their credit, they have taken this thing that was kind of like an alternative hobby, and they've made this thing into this kind of big, huge, more mainstream thing. That's really been their goal. They've got Post Malone playing Magic the Gathering, and they've got all these things going on, which has been, again, I'm not complaining about this. It's been a net positive for most of the financial side of the Magic the Gathering industry. Obviously, for Wizards, it's a business. They want to make money. It makes sense. For stores, I think it's been a net positive. We have more people coming into the game, which is really good. But the negative side of that is that it's lost, and especially because of the Universes Beyond part, right? It's lost some of its own, for lack of a better word, like culture. Like, it's lost its own feel and connection. It's lost its own, like, identity. Magic the Gathering itself doesn't know what it is. It's kind of this hodgepodge. You've got Magic the Gathering, and it's the people who, love Magic the Gathering have their lore and that kind of stuff. But then you've got a Dwight Schrute character just hanging out there fighting Jace. What is going on? It doesn't have any identity. And that is, I think, going to be a longer term failure for Magic. I think what's happened is that they have sacrificed longevity of customer base and commitment of customer base. They have sacrificed that for quick and easy, I guess another lack of transient customers that are here today and they're somewhere else tomorrow. They're here because they love Spider-Man, and that's awesome, and they brought the Spider-Man people in. But I'm not convinced that they have hooked and kept and captured the Spider-Man character fan into the Magic the Gathering environment. I'm not sure that person is really the average Spider-Man person who came in for Spider-Man. I'm not sure that they are really going to dive deep into Magic the Gathering and buy, older Magic the Gathering cards and buy singles and update their decks. More that they're gonna look at it like a board game. They're gonna have their deck that they built. They're not really going to engage in the hobby in a deeper way than having maybe there's no pre-cons for Spider-Man, but for Final Fantasy, having their pre-con for Final Fantasy and playing at the kitchen table. When you have that, what it's done is you've also then brought in these Universes Beyond sets that lose the committed Magic the Gathering player. The person, Magic used to be, again, I'm not trying to just rant, because I think this is, again, a net positive for the money side of the game. I think there is a net positive for it. But Magic used to be a quote-unquote all-in type thing. When you played Magic, it was this all-in thing. Like, most people who, in my opinion, play Magic kind of get like this like itch, right? You get that Magic the Gathering itch, and all you want to do is play Magic the Gathering. It's this all-in type thing. And now I think it's become more of a casual hobby. And in that, it has lost some of its allure and drive and passion. And we've sacrificed that so that we could grow wider. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying what it has caused, what Universes Beyond has caused. In particular, what having more sets for Universes Beyond than non-Universes Beyond. Because I think if they would have kept to the model of having, the Lord of the Rings set, then I think a lot of those deep ingrained Magic the Gathering fans would have been like, all right, I can handle one set a year in an IP that maybe I know a little bit about, or maybe I like, but it's not shoved down my throat every single set. And so those people who are really interested in Magic can look at that set and be like, all right, let's do it. Frodo, let's play Magic. Oh, this is fun. And they're not overwhelmed by different IP that they don't care about. Your deep loving Magic the Gathering fan is not going to be a fan of of the unannounced set of Marvel and of Star Trek and of The Hobbit. There's going to be 2 or 3 of those sets where they're just like, I don't want this. I don't care about it. And so they're going to not be part of the hobby that they love, the commitment that they love during those sets, because it's just overwhelming. It's just too much different for them. So I think you're going to see a large group of people, a much larger group of people sitting out, a much larger group of committed Magic the Gathering fans sitting out those sets, compared to when Universes Beyond used to be like one main set and maybe one commander set a year. And so I think that's the wide scope of Magic the Gathering in 2026. Again, I think you're going to see a lot of people really excited about these specific things that are in these niche groups. And here's my hot take. I think Reality Fracture, the set in October, is going to take Universes Beyond an entire step further. I think Reality Fracture is going to be Magic the Gathering's... Remember I said they have a fractured identity. Magic the Gathering has fractured its identity. I think Reality Fracture is going to do its part in trying to link the Magic the Gathering universes into the Universes Beyond. You remember the Spider-Man? There's a Spider-Man movie. I don't know which one it is. But it's all about the timelines, right? And he goes back through all these different alternative realities. It's like a Rick and Morty episode. I think Reality Fracture is going to be that type of set and lore and thought process where it brings the Magic the Gathering lore into the different realms of Universes Beyond. It almost makes Universes Beyond within. It's almost like a portal for Universes Beyond to come into Magic the Gathering, or maybe the other way around, Magic the Gathering to enter into the Beyond sets. That's my hot take for Fractured Reality, is that not only do we have 4 Universes Beyond sets out of the 7 sets this year, but I think one of the 3 Universes Within sets is actually just to connect the dots between Magic the Gathering universe and open the door for the other universes to really become part of Magic the Gathering. And at the end of the day, I like it because I run a business with Magic. I'm so conflicted. I run a business that involves Magic the Gathering, and I'm excited. I think 2026 is going to be a great year. I think we're going to sell a metric ton of product. But the person who loves Magic the Gathering in me, the person who loves the committed, deep Magic the Gathering fan in me that is committed to the game and doesn't want to play another game because I love Magic the Gathering, really struggles with it. So that's where I am. Curious to see where you are on the 2026 lineup for Magic the Gathering. What thoughts do you agree with me on? What thoughts do you disagree with me on? Really excited to go through the year. You can always shop at KitchenTableTCG.com to support the channel. And thank you to all the people in the Discord server and the Gold Wizard program who allow me to do this as a full-time gig and a full-time job. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Remember, this is all just cardboard. The whole thing, it can go away tomorrow. Magic the Gathering could shut the doors tomorrow. So remember to be kind to the people around you because it's more into life than just cardboard. We'll see you again next video.